Hey all, and welcome back to Famous Among the Barns. I am out here in Carrollton, Texas at the Carrollton Black Cemetery. It's a historic cemetery for the African American community in Carrollton, Texas. I decided to stop by here today because this Wednesday is Juneteenth. For those of you who are not familiar with the holiday, so the Emancipation Proclamation was signed on September 22nd of 1862 and set to go into effect on January 1st of 1863, ending slavery. But word didn't exactly travel quickly through the Confederacy and didn't actually reach Texas until June 19th of 1865. And so June 19th became celebrated as Juneteenth, which is sort of more recognized as the end of slavery, because that's really when the word got to the farthest reaches of the Confederacy, freeing slaves. And communities were set up after that of former slaves, like one here in Carrollton. If you see here, I'm going to turn this around, we've got the historical marker that mentions that the community set up here in Carrollton was of primarily former slaves, and then by 1871 they had built a community here, and this portion of 40 acres belonging to a man named Scott Boswell Sr. Was set up. He was a farmer, and it became a cemetery. And so here, we'll go in and get a closer look in a second. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of rain, and it looks like we've got some flooding. But this became the cemetery for the African American community in the Carrollton area. Yeah, you see here some of the markers are underwater. We've had a lot of rain recently. And now every Juneteenth, which is this Wednesday, the local community comes out and cleans up the graves. And that's led by Reverend Willie Rainwater. And he actually has ancestors who are buried here. And I just thought, with Juneteenth coming up, I don't think as many people know about it as should. It's such a significant date in American history that, you know, I was thinking about it after I visited the Threet filling station on Route 66. It had the sign that said, "This place matters," talking about, you know, these locations in African American history and American history that are significant, that people don't know about and don't know why they matter. And I think it's important for us to remember those stories. So with Juneteenth coming up, I just wanted to visit this cemetery. Now, you notice most of the markers are just these small white wooden crosses. And that is because the original markers were basically all lost, except for a couple. You see part of one right here. And these have been put up since by the volunteers that come out and take care of the grounds. Looks like there's another original marker there behind this. And you see there's a marker for, it says Ned Welch. I believe one of his ancestors is one of the people who comes out and volunteers here as well to clean up, but there is one of the original stone markers. Here's another. I don't know that you can even see anything on this one to see who was buried here. You can see broken pieces of some old markers as well. And this is just tucked away in a little corner of Carrollton, close to the Coppell border, sort of near the Trinity River. Oh, I hate seeing this flooding like this. But I am very happy to know that there are still people who come out and take care of these grounds and make sure that people don't forget these stories. like I noted, I think with the Threet filling station, we tend to think of history in terms of major figures doing major things. So we talk about, you know, the characters that get mentioned in the history books, whose names are well known all over the world. But most history was just everyday people living their lives and going through that daily struggle. And I think those are really the most significant stories, because they are what really define what a place is. And so, like the Threet filling station, this place matters. I really hope some of this water has receded by the time Wednesday gets here, which is Juneteenth, when the volunteers will come out to work here again. So that is really my video for today. I just wanted to stop by here, pay my respects to this place, to the stories contained here, to the community that keeps its spirit alive, to talk a little bit about Juneteenth. You know, hopefully it'll become a date and a holiday that everyone in the country knows and recognizes the importance of. But I'm going to spend a little bit of time just walking around here and taking it in. And, you know, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, just keep looking for stories.